Good morning everyone. Welcome back to accounts class. Before starting our class, let's start our class with a meaningful thought. Believe you can and you will. I repeat, believe you can and you will. Yes, many of us we have certain fear without starting any particular task, any work we think we may not able to do. We have this negative thinking in everyone. We may not able to do, oh this is very tough to me, oh this I cannot, oh this one it's not possible for me. Don't ever underestimate yourself. When you're starting something, start with a positive thinking, positive thought, saying you will try and you can do it. So this always help you thinking very powerful thought. Your willpower is very important. So never let negative thoughts, okay, so in your mind don't stay with a negative thought that you cannot do it. So in this pandemic also most of the students are thinking online classes, how do we study, is it possible to learn through online classes or distance education? Obviously, of course you can, it is possible unless you put your efforts. Until you try, you will not know your strength and weakness. Is it right? So believe in yourself that you can do it and you will do it. Okay, so moving on to the class, and today's class we are going to learn accounting equations. Okay, accounting equations. So I'm teaching you the question number 1. This particular question, this accounting equation is for 6 marks. So I'll read out the question now. Prepare accounting equation on the basis of the following transaction. Okay, Arish started business with cash rupees 2 lakhs, purchased goods from Narma for cash rupees 1,40,000, sold goods to Banu costing rupees 10,000, bought furniture on credit rupees 7,000, withdrawn cash for personal use rupees 2,000, deposited cash into bank rupees 5,000. So these are all the 6 transactions for 6 markers. Okay, let me solve this problem using accounting equation. Okay, so here starting the accounting equation in the books of Arish I have written, because initially they have given Arish started business. Here there is no name of any person, but here they have given Arish started business. So I have taken this is the business of Mr. Arish. So you can write accounting equation, that is more than enough, or else you can write accounting equation in the books of Arish. Okay, this is optional, but you have to write the heading accounting equation. Okay, so going with the first transaction, Arish started business with cash. So cash is the first thing that comes here. So cash is an asset. So cash balance is starting with 2 lakhs. Okay, starting with 2 lakhs. So liabilities is nothing. When you start a business, whatever the cash balance is there, it is the same capital balance. So capital is also same. He is starting with a capital of rupees 2 lakhs in the form of cash only he started. Okay, so this is the first transaction. So assets and liability plus capital should be equal. So asset side, here you have total of asset is 2 lakh, and this side liabilities plus capital is also together, if you add it is 2 lakhs. So equation is equal. Okay, moving on to the second transaction. Purchase goods from Narma for cash rupees 1,40,000. So you are purchasing goods for cash, so obviously it will affect the cash balance. Okay, So I am taking the previous transaction cash balance As of now we have 2 lakhs. Okay, with this minus 1,40,000. 1,40,000 we are paying for goods. So your cash balance will decrease. 2 lakhs minus 1,40,000. So it will be remaining cash balance is 60,000. Okay. So here you are going to purchase goods. So your stock, the new asset is that stock worth of 1,40,000. Since you are purchasing goods, it's nothing but stock. Stock is a current asset which comes under the asset itself. So stock is a new asset here. 1,40,000 is the value of stock, and that is paid by cash. So cash balance is decreased. Out of 2 lakhs you are paying 1,40,000. The remaining cash balance is 60,000. Liabilities is nil. Capital balance remains the same, 2 lakhs. It's not affecting the capital balance. Okay. So both the side total we have to do. Presentation is very important. That is why I am showing you how to present also. Write it neatly. So here 60,000 is the cash balance plus 1,40,000. It comes totally is 2 lakhs. So asset value is 2 lakhs and liabilities plus capital, here it is 2 lakhs. When you add, it is 2 lakhs. So both the side it is equal. Okay. Moving on to the third transaction. Third transaction says sold goods to Banu costing rupees 10,000. So sold goods to Banu. Sold goods to Banu costing rupees 10,000. Here they have not given it is a cash or credit. So when they have not mentioned whether it is a cash transaction or credit transaction, and they have given the name of a person. When they have given the name of a person and not mentioned it is a cash, means obviously it is a credit transaction. Okay. So it is a credit transaction. Sold goods to Banu costing rupees 10,000. This is a credit transaction. They have not mentioned for cash. So this is not affecting any cash balance. Okay. So here we are not sold goods worth rupees 10,000 will not be affecting, since we didn't receive anything yet. So it will not affect the cash balance. So cash balance as of now we have 60,000. I'm writing 60,000. Okay. And next stock. Now stock, it is 1,40,000. Out of this stock only you are selling the goods. Is it right? You are selling worth of 10,000. So 1,40,000 minus 10,000. The remaining will be 1,30,000. The stock remaining value will be 1,30,000. And since you are giving the benefit to the outsiders, debtors will be created. You are giving credit for Mr. Banu, right? So credit, you are selling the goods but you didn't receive anything. In future you are going to receive. That person we call it as debtor. For us is a debtor. So debtor is also an asset, comes under asset. So the debtor value is 10,000. Okay. Again the liabilities, there is nothing. Next we have total of capital balance is not affecting. So capital remains same. Okay. It is very clear. Your cash balance is 60,000 from the previous transaction I have taken. This will not be affected because this transaction is purely on credit basis. So stock, since you are selling the goods, the stock value will be reducing. Stock value was 1,40,000. In that 10,000 you are selling out. So remaining will be 1,30,000. This will be the stock value which is taken for the next transaction. Debtors. Who is this debtor? For the person whom we have sold on credit. He has to pay in future. So that becomes a current asset for us. Debtors is an asset for us. So that is newly created. Debtors 10,000. Now you need to add 60,000, 1,30,000 and 10,000. 60,000 plus 1,30,000 plus 10,000. Altogether it's come to 2 lakhs. So asset value remains 2 lakhs and liabilities plus capital also remains 2 lakhs. Since here liability is nothing, capital value is 2 lakhs. Okay. Moving on to the next transaction. So here the next transaction number is 4. Bought furniture on credit rupees 7,000. So they have given it is on credit, so it will not affect the cash. Let me see what is the cash balance. Remaining cash balance from the previous transaction, it is 60,000. Since they bought furniture on credit, this will not affect the cash. Okay. Next we have stock here. So stock balance I am writing. In this transaction, stock is also not affected. The stock value remaining is 1,30,000. Okay. And again debtors value is 10,000. Debtors is also not affecting. So I am writing debtors value as it is. Okay. Now the furniture is also an asset. So there is one more furniture comes under asset. So furniture will be included here. The value of furniture is 7,000. Is it fine? Now this furniture was bought on credit. We have not paid any amount. We have bought on credit. We have to pay it in future. That is, we are liable to pay in future. That is nothing but creditors. When we want to pay in future, that becomes creditors. So creditors value is 7,000. Okay. Creditors value becomes 7,000. Got it? And next, capital value remains same 2 lakh from the previous transaction we have taken. Okay. Now add all this. 70,000, 2 lakhs, 60,000 plus 1,30,000 plus 10,000 plus 7,000. It is 2 lakhs 7,000. Now here also creditor 7,000 plus 2 lakhs. Total will be 2 lakh 7,000. So both the side it is the equations are correct. It's tallying. Both the side it is equal. Okay. Moving on to the next transaction. Next transaction, fifth transaction. So fifth transaction says withdrawn cash for personal use. What is this? When the cash is drawn for personal use, what we call it as? We call it as drawings. It is an expense. Now they are withdrawing the cash balance, cash amount worth rupees 2,000. So cash balance from the previous transaction is 60,000. From this you have to minus 2,000 because we are taking 2,000 for personal use. So remaining it will be 58,000 is the remaining cash balance. Okay. In this transaction stock is not affected. So it remains same. Debtors amount is also not affected. So that is also written same. Furniture is also not affected. So write down the same balance. Okay. No other assets are affected due to this. So only cash is affected. Only that balance will be changing. Here under the liabilities, creditors remains same. Plus capital balance is 2 lakhs. In this 2 lakhs, you have to deduct the drawings 2,000. Okay, when you deduct 2,000 from the drawings, it becomes 1,98,000 is the remaining capital balance. Since drawing is an expense, we will deduct all the expenses from the capital account. capital balance. Okay, so here let us do the totaling. Let me see whether it tallies or not. Hopefully it tallies. Okay, so add this 58,000 plus 1,30,000 plus 10,000 plus 7,000. 58. So it comes to 2,05,000. Let me check with this. 7,000 plus 1,98,000. So this also 2,05,000. Okay, 2,05,000. Both the sides it is tallied. Moving on to the last transaction. Deposited cash into bank account, rupees 5,000. Again it is affecting the cash balance. So first let us take the previous cash balance, that is 58,000 is the cash balance. In this they are taking 5,000 and depositing into bank. So let us first reduce the cash balance. After minusing 58,000 minus 5,000, it comes to 53,000. Okay, and bank is also current asset. It comes under the asset. Now the bank is introduced. In the bank we have 5,000. Since we deposited newly opened account and we have deposited 5,000. From the cash we have taken from the bank, from your business, and you are opening a bank account. So cash balance 5,000 will reduce. Bank balance 5,000 will increase. Okay, and it will not affect any other assets. So assets stock 1,30,000. Debtors also remains same, 10,000. Furniture also remains same, that is 7,000. Okay, under liabilities, creditors is 7,000, and here capital balance will be 1,98,000. that also remains same. Okay, so we have to check what is the transaction, whether that will be affected to the cash account or any other account. That we have to analyze first. So let me take cash balance 53,000 plus 5,000 plus 1,30,000 plus 10,000 plus 7,000. So you will be getting 2,05,000 total of the assets, and these two when you add it becomes 2,05,000. So both the side, in all the ways it is tallied. Assets are equal with the liabilities and capital. Okay, so this is all about the accounting equation. Accounting equation. 6 transactions will be given for 6 marks. So presentation is very important. You have to follow the presentation neat and clean so that you will not lose any marks. Avoid scratches also. Okay, and zeros, when you are writing zeros is very important. If you miss 1 0 or if you add 1 0 extra, your answer easily gets wrong. So be careful. Understood? Going on to the next problem. Prepare accounting equations on the following basis on the following transactions. Kunal started business with cash rupees 2,50,000. He purchased furniture for cash rupees 35,000. He paid commission rupees 2,000. Next, here they have done a wrong transaction. So they have given he sold goods costing rupees 20,000 for rupees 22,000. And next they have given he purchased goods on credit for rupees 40,000. So before purchasing the goods, we cannot have the sale of goods. So here the transaction should be, when you are writing the question, the fourth transaction should be he purchased goods on credit for rupees 40,000. That should be your fourth transaction. After that, fifth transaction should be he sold goods costing rupees 10,000 to rupees 22,000 for rupees 22,000. This should be your fifth transaction. When you are writing question, please make this correction. Purchase goods on credit should be fourth transaction. Fifth transaction will be he sold goods costing rupees 10,000 for rupees 22,000. This is your fifth transaction. Okay. Without purchasing the goods or without any information of the goods, we cannot show the transaction related to sold goods. Okay. The last transaction is he gave loan to Anil rupees 5,000. Here in all the transactions they have referred E. E is nothing but Kunal. Okay. So here we will just make this interchange. All the questions I am solving from the question paper or the PDF file which is given in the PU board website. So I have taken all the printout from the PU board website. These questions are all related to many annual question papers. So all the annual question papers, they have done one PDF file like a question bank. Only questions are given. Out of that I am solving all the problems. Okay. So just a small changes in this transaction. This should be your fourth transaction and this should be your fifth transaction. When you are writing the question itself, please make sure that changes. Okay. Moving on to the solution. So we are solving with accounting equation. Okay. So this is the accounting equation. Assets equals liabilities plus capital. Starting with the first transaction, Kunal started business with cash. So cash is an asset. Cash is 2,50,000. So when we are starting a business, obviously the capital will be the same balance. 50,000 to 2,50,000 is the capital balance. Okay. Hope you can see clearly. Just closing the first transaction. Do the totaling. So totaling of both the sides, it will be assets is 2,50,000 and liabilities and capital is also 2,50,000. Okay. Next transaction, second one. He purchased furniture for cash, rupees 35,000. Now the cash balance according to the previous transaction is 2,50,000. Out of this, they are using 35,000 for the purchase of furniture. So that should be deducted. Okay. So 2,50,000 minus 35,000. You will get the final balance of cash is 2,15,000 is the remaining balance. Now since they are purchasing furniture, furniture is also an asset. So furniture we have to write under the asset itself, that is 35,000. Okay. And next liabilities, nothing is there. And capital balance remains same, 2,50,000. Now both the side we have to do the totaling. So totaling here 2,15,000 plus 35,000. It is 2,50,000. 2,50,000. Here also 2,50,000. Don't write blindly what we write in the assets, same thing will not come here. We have to check liabilities total and capital total. Together we should add and write down. Okay. Here since liability is nil, 0 and capital balance is 2,50,000. Same we are writing here. Okay. Moving on to the third transaction. Third transaction says paid commission rupees 2000. So obviously it will affect the cash balance. So according to the previous transaction, cash balance here you can see it is 2,15,000 is the remaining cash balance. Out of this you are paying 2,000 rupees commission. You have to reduce, the remaining will be 2,13,000 is the cash remaining balance. And that this transaction will not affect anything for the furniture. So furniture remains same. Liabilities, there is no liabilities, and this will not affect the capital balance. 2,50,000. Okay, so here make the total. Here we have 2 lakh. Sorry, here we have one change. Since commission is an expense, we have to deduct that commission balance. 2,000 rupees we have to deduct from 2,50,000. Okay, so final balance of capital will be 2,48,000. Commission is an expense, we deducted from cash balance. The same thing we have to do from the capital. Whatever the expenses we have, we will deduct from the capital. Incomes will be added to the capital. Okay, so capital balance was 2,50,000. With this we have to minus 2,000. The remaining capital balance will be final 2,48,000. Okay, so here both this side you will get the total 2,48,000. Let me check the asset side. Asset side 2,13,000 plus 35,000. You are getting 2,48,000 exactly. Okay, moving on to the next transaction. So for transaction we are considering purchase goods on credit rupees 40,000. So since it is a credit transaction, it will not affect the cash balance. So cash balance remains same, 2,13,000. Okay, again furniture is not affected. So furniture is also the same amount, 35,000 we will write. I am just taking from the previous transaction. Okay, next purchase goods is nothing but stock. Stock is an asset. So under stock we will be writing 40,000. Newly added asset. Okay, now since this stock is purchased on credit, so our liabilities is been increased. Creditors will be increased to 40,000. Okay, plus a capital balance is 2,48,000. Understood? When we purchase something or when we take benefit from outsider on credit, that becomes our liability. So 2,48,000 plus 40,000, it will be 2,88,000. Let me check the asset side. 2,13,000 plus 35,000 plus 40,000. You are getting 2,88,000. Both the side it is equal. Okay. Moving on to the fifth transaction. So here fifth transaction says sold goods costing rupees 20,000 for rupees 22,000. So here sold goods. Actual goods cost is 20,000, but they have sold it for 22. That means what? 2,000 extra income they have gained here. The profit is 2,000 extra profit they have got. So they should be very careful when we are writing. So first let me take the cash balance from the previous transaction. It is 2,13,000. Okay. And next, in this 2,30,000, we are selling the goods for 22,000. So we should add 22,000, not 20,000. The cost of goods is 20, but we are sold for 22. So we are receiving in cash is 22,000. So we should add 22,000 for cash. Okay. So 2,13,000 plus 22,000 it becomes 2,35,000 is the cash balance as per now. Okay. So next we have when we take stock. So stock value, what was the stock value previously? It is 40,000. Out of this 40,000 stock, we have sold goods worth of 20,000. What is the actual cost of the goods is 20,000. So 20,000 goods we have sold. So cost in the stock worth of 40,000, we are selling 20,000 of worth of goods. So remaining stock value is 20,000. Okay. Then we have furniture. So furniture will not be affecting anything here. So it is written as it is, the same balance, 35,000. Okay. This is the assets changes. And again in liabilities we have creditors worth of 40,000. Okay. Next, moving on to the assets. No, sorry, capital. This should be capital. Sorry for the correction. This should be capital. Okay. So capital value is 2,48,000 plus 2,000 I am taking. From where you got this 2,000? From here. Actual cost of goods was 20,000, but we sold it for 22,000. That means what? 2,000 of profit we have gained, which will be added to the capital balance. So as of now, the capital balance become 2,50,000. Add the previous balance of capital is 2,48,000. Plus now you are earning extra 2,000 income by selling the goods. Actual price of goods was 20, but we are selling for 22,000, which increases our income. Profit we have gained 2,000 extra. That should be added for the capital balance. Okay. Now cash balance is 2,35,000 plus we have stock worth of 20,000 plus furniture 35,000. It is 2,90,000 is the total asset that we are having as per this transaction. Okay. Now add this 40,000 plus 2,50,000. It is 2,90,000. Got it? The last transaction, that is, he gave loan to Anil rupees 5,000. So 5,000 it is given by Kunal to Anil. So what is the cash balance here? 2,35,000 from the previous transaction I am taking. You can see from the previous transaction I am taking. In this 5,000 rupees we are giving as loan for Mr. Anil. So deduct that final cash balance will be 2,30,000. Okay. Stock, it is not affected. So stock balance is 20,000 as it is I am writing. Furniture is also not affected. So furniture value is also written as it is 35,000. Now giving a loan to Anil. We are giving some benefit to Anil. Later stages we are going to receive. So that is, we are going to, it is an asset for the company. So loan given to Anil, you can write 5,000. Or else you can write loans and advances. Loans and advances also can be given as a heading here. Or you can write loan given to Anil 5,000. This will not affect any liabilities. So liabilities, creditors remains same. Capital balance 2,50,000, that also remains same. Okay. If we are receiving the loan, then that becomes liability. In this transaction, we are giving loan to, we means it's nothing but Kunal, our business. Whenever you solve any problem, we have to think from the point of business. So assume yourself as a business. You are the Kunal business. Now you are giving loan to Anil. Means you will be receiving in future. So that is an asset. If we are receiving loan from any outside person, if it was, for example, if it was loan taken from Anil, Anil is given loan to us, means that becomes liability. But here we are giving loan to Anil, that is an asset. Please make a note of this. Giving a loan is different, taking a loan is different. When we take a loan, it becomes a liability. When we give a loan, that is an asset. Okay. Now just add these two, it becomes same 2,90,000. Okay. And add all the assets here. 2,30,000 is the cash balance, plus 20,000, plus 35,000, plus 5,000. So total it is 2,90,000. 2,90,000, both the side it is tallied. So this is all about the accounting equation. You can copy the notes from the video itself. Okay. I hope it is understandable. Here you should write capital, not asset. Okay. You can just check it out for your reference. I'm just showing once again. Okay. Thank you for watching my video.